Hey everybody, Mr. Tom here. I hope all of your learning at home has been going well. I've been spending a lot of time outside working in the garden, and I really miss all the fun activities we would do back when we were at school. So I'm actually going to be making a video every week with an activity to go along with it that will kind of get us out into nature a little bit. So for today's activity, I'm going to show you how to make something called a nature journal. Now this nature journal, after we make it, will be a little booklet where we will record everything that we see and all the activities that we're going to do each week. And after we make our nature journal today, I'm going to lead you around my yard a little bit while we look at some leaves and see what we can learn about leaves today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and get started doing is making our nature journal. Now it's super easy. I'm going to just show you one way to do it. But remember, a nature journal, really when it comes down to it, is just a booklet that you can write and draw stuff in. So if you already have a journal or notebook at your house, you can use that. But I didn't already have one lying around, so I figured I could make one. And I'll show you guys too. So the way we're going to do it today, all you need is a stack of a few pieces of plain paper, and all you do is fold it over like this in half, and you see how that's kind of shaped like a book there, and then just, you see what I'm doing with my thumb, just creasing it down so it folds and stays put. I just have this cookbook here as a hard surface to fold the paper on. So now we have our nature journal. Now, if you would like to, and you have the help of a grown-up, you could, if you have a stapler, you can staple it together so that the pages stay in there. I've even seen some people do a really cool art project where they sew it together and kind of bind it like a book. So if anybody in your family sews and wants to get creative helping you with that, that's awesome. But I don't have any of that right now, so I'm just folding it together, and that will be totally fine for our nature journal. So the next step we need to do is get a pencil, some markers, crayons, and be sure to add a title. Make sure that that we mark it as our nature journal. So you can write your name, write what it is, and add a few pictures. You can decorate it however you like. So I'm going to spend a few minutes doing that and show you the finished product. Alright, so here it is. I just kept it simple. I just had this cool wooden pencil thing that's kind of a purplish color, and I just wrote Mr. Tom's Springtime Nature Journal 2020. So there are plenty of blank pages in here where we can draw things and write things. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to take you on a little walk around my yard, and we're going to look for some different kinds of leaves today. And we're going to draw those leaves in our journals. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Well, these are the first leaves I saw. Look how big they are. There's my hand. They're about as big as my hand. So this will be the first one that I'm going to draw in my journal. And don't worry if you don't know the names. If you can always ask an adult or somebody in your family if they might know the names of some of the leaves. But don't worry about it if you can't figure out the name. The main thing we're thinking about today is just what shape they are. So that'll be the first one I'm going to draw. And then I'm going to look around and see if I can find some different shaped leaves. Oh, here's one. Alright, so this one's a very different shape than the first one, so I think I'll also draw that one. I'm going to spend a minute or two drawing those, and then we'll look for a couple more. Alright, so here's what my nature journal looks like right now. I've drawn those first two leaves on a page, and as you can see, I didn't worry too much about it being perfect. I'm not the greatest artist, but we just want to draw them and try to get some idea of what they look like, because we're thinking about how many different shapes leaves come in today. Alright, let's look for some more. Here is a really cool shaped leaf. We see a lot of these in the springtime. We call these clovers, and as you can see, most of them are 3-leaf, but if you're really lucky, you might find a 4-leaf. This is going to be fun to draw. It almost looks like 3 heart-shaped leaves on here. So that'll be my next drawing in my nature journal. I think I've found one last leaf that I'm going to draw in my journal here. I love how these ones have perfectly opposite facing leaves all the way up the stem, and then one at the very end pointing out. Doesn't that look kind of cool and unique? I think that'll be great to draw in my nature journal. So I'm going to draw that one and then show you guys what the finished page looks like. So there is my nature journal with the 4 different shapes of leaves that I found. And I added a little writing as well. I just wrote all different shapes of leaves. So that's what I want you to do for today's activity. However, wherever you can find some leaves of different shapes, I'd like you to draw them on a page in your nature journal or whatever place that you can write and draw, and then add something. It could just be, you could just write the word leaves, or for some of my students in maybe in my upper grades, you could write a little story about your adventure looking for leaves. The most important thing is that you just spend a little bit of time looking for nature and noticing the difference between the leaves all around us. Remember, it wasn't long ago in the winter that most of these trees didn't even have leaves on them. So let's take advantage of this beautiful springtime weather, get outside in whatever little piece of nature we can find, and check out some of the plants growing around us. Alright guys, it's been really fun, and I look forward to our next video where we will probably be doing something else with our nature journal. Alright, have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.